Good evening, everybody. I'm JP Escobar, if you don't know, and we are debating stem cell research. And we are under the Bush policy, which means Bush's policy for the federal funding on embryonic stem cell research. And basically, the benefits of stem cell research cannot outweigh the costs and setbacks yet. So basically, stem cell research is in a lot of the research I came across, it's a potential life-saving or for diseases, but it's still at its potential level, so my first point being the benefits of stem cells cannot outweigh the cost of its setbacks yet, leads to my second claim being that the technology is not fully developed yet. But anyways, one of the setbacks are that embryonic stem cells that are stored over time have been shown to create the type of chromosomal anomalies that create cancer cells. So like, if you inject embryonic stem cells, they're supposed to fix your disease, but they can mutate and give you cancer cells as well. And also, another setback that embryonic stem cells has is that a lot of anti-abortion and religious groups talk about that they value human life from the point of conception, and they oppose embryonic stem cell research because the extraction of a stem cell from this type of embryo requires its destruction. So like you're killing a life, basically. And also, to clearly understand everything that we're talking about, there's like three types of stem cells. It's adult cells, cord cells, and embryonic stem cells. And embryonic stem cells, like a lot of religious groups, how I said, anti-abortions, they don't really agree with that. Also, adult cells, those are like taking cells from your own body. Like, for example, they take bone marrow, which is like a really rich source of embryonic stem cells, but extracting bone marrow from yourself, it makes your bone fragile and it causes like painful destruction in your bones. And there's also, for adult cells, there's peripheral stem cells that can be extracted without damage to the bones, but the process takes more time, and with health issues, sometimes like a long time can be essence, because if they have a disease, they could die. And also, the technology for stem cells is not fully developed yet. This is still sort of like a new technology and is undergoing research. Scientists are still unaware of the long-term effects of the therapy, as they are directly playing with nature. And also, how I said, there's three types of stem cells. The cord cells, like pretty much all three of them, they can stand, except for adult cells, they can stand, the body will reject it. So they don't always like, especially with like the cord cells, like, the body rejects it sometimes. And fully grown stem cells are pre-specialized and have limited scope of differentiation. For instance, blood stem cells make only blood cells and not other organs like kidneys and liver. And they're not easy to cultivate. And basically, what I'm trying to say is that quadriplegics should not sign up for the New York City Marathon just yet. Like, this is like going to take decades and decades, according to The Dirty Secret of Embryonic Stem Cell Research by Forbes magazine. And basically, we're debating the funding. And according to Forbes magazine, the scientists didn't blame federal funding to the slowing down of the process of research, but they're blaming biology, among other problems. Embryonic stem cells require permanent use of dangerous dangerous drugs, and they have nasty tendency to form tumors. So you need to be constantly taking drugs, etc. And there's also much better alternatives for stem cells. Like how I said, the adult cells and the cord cells. They could potentially be more promising, and they're not immoral like embryonic stem cells. But with the funding, if you're taking if you're funding for embryonic stem cells, you're taking away funding from the other two that could be more promising and are not immoral. And there's also breakthroughs that bypass the concern of using embryonic stem cells. For example, Stanford scientists turned skin cells into nerve cells without any intermediate cell steps. So that's like another embryonic stem cell. And side effects are harmful for stem cells, limiting the benefits of embryonic stem cells. So in one particular study, there were negative side effects to a treatment that were found 4 years after stem cell therapy. And embryonic stem cell transplants will only be successful if the transplant stem cell created a specific type of human cell that the patient needed. And if it's developed incorrectly, it can develop, like I said, into a tumor. And also, with these side effects, like I said, you're probably going to have to take drugs, and probably for the rest of your life. So that's it. Thank you.